Go Radio Football Show with Burger King. Watch live at 5 p.m. weekdays on YouTube. Join the conversation on 0808 17 17 700. Talking Scottish football first.
Good evening, Paul Cooney with Barry Ferguson and Mark Guidi. Well, the 10-man Celtic side last night, 2-2 draw in Bologna, means a win next midweek against Utrecht will see Celtic through to the next stages. Rangers make it 7 straight wins after beating Ludogorets 1-0 last night. 0808 17 17 700 Rangers fans, were you at the game? Are you looking forward to the Dundee match? And Celtic fans, what about the remarkable turnaround last 4 games under Martin O'Neill? Back to the league action this weekend. Rangers up against Dundee Sunday. And the game of the weekend, the table toppers Hearts against the defending champion Celtic on Sunday. Is it D-Day at Tynecastle? Mark, last night, significant for both clubs, especially for Celtic in European action next week, and it still means a lot, the Utrecht game.
Paul, Celtic have got a really good chance. Now they've put themselves into the driving seat to move on in the competition. Utrecht, the Dutch side, have nothing to play for, so the odds certainly in Celtic's favour. We're packed Celtic Park next Thursday night, and with Martin O'Neill in charge, as you said, Paul, you wouldn't rule anything out. And for Rangers, good to get a win, Paul, even though they're out of the tournament essentially. I think it was important for Rangers just to get 3 points, just to do it in front of their own supporters, and it was a good win and a clean sheet for Danny Rühl's team.
Barry, for Rangers last night, it's good for Glasgow, isn't it? A bit of a fight back. Celtic doing well against Bologna, your nephew captaining against Celtic, and then Rangers getting a win. Danny Rühl, yet another victory under his regime.
Yeah, they keep finding these victories and getting clean sheets as well, which is important. I thought they were very comfortable in the game, if I'm being honest with you. The only disappointing thing, I think, from the game is Rangers didn't score more goals. And that may concern the manager. And that's why I think from now until the window closes on the 2nd of February, I think Rangers will try and strengthen, certainly up top.
Let's get to the meat of it, Barry. The biggest game this weekend, Hearts against Celtic. And for those who missed it the other night, what's the result that you'd be looking for as a Rangers legend?
Obviously a draw would suit Rangers, but I think it's both teams that are going to go for it. I don't think it will be a cagey affair at all. I think Hearts know they can go 9 points obviously ahead of Celtic, and obviously Celtic will go with that bit between their teeth. They showed good character last night, I thought, watching the game before the Rangers game. I thought they were good until a silly mistake from Hatate. Even the first booking, I don't know why he needs to kick out at Lewis. And then the second one, a few minutes after, where he's just been stupid, if I'm being honest with you, and it puts his teammates on the back foot. But I think going into the game on Sunday, I think 2 teams will have a go at each other, and I can see goals in it.
Was he naive last night, Rio Hatate, Mark?
Just silly, Paul. He gave as Barry said, the first foul on Lewis. He's taking the legs away from him over on the halfway line at the touch line. Absolutely no need to do it. And then the second one, he said the wee dink out. Not a lot in it, but certainly you can understand why the referee gave the second yellow, and off he goes. And I think Celtic looked comfortable at that point, 11v11. I think Celtic would have won the game. I'm not saying it would have been easy, but I think they would have won the game. But he's put his teammates in the back foot. But they've produced a heroic performance. Austin Trusty,
well, man of the match, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was outstanding. Obviously, chipping with his goal as well. And a lot of people question Brendan Rodgers for that spending spree. And there's Austin Trusty on a European stage producing performance. Maeda was running about as if he'd 4 lungs last night. What a
Only
terrific
4
contribution. Kieran Tierney, I said that a couple of weeks ago, Paul. People that have questioned the signing of Kieran Tierney, I think you see the value in it. Last night again, outstanding. And Martin O'Neill, in managerial terms, Paul, he's a genius.
Yeah,
he's an absolute genius, Martin O'Neill.
Barry, you agree? Martin O'Neill, a genius, what he's doing at Celtic, given how bad it was in December.
Yeah, you can just see he obviously gives the players a lift. He gives them confidence, and they're a different team from a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, you see the difference that he makes. And a lot of people go on about young up and coming managers. Well, experience goes a long way. He knows the game inside out, and you can see the difference he's made since he's come back for his second spell.
08, 08, 17, 17.
Or third spell, I should say.
7,
Third.
exactly, yeah. 08, 08, 17, 17, 700. How many spells has he had? And is he going to have any more? Mark, we've got Brian on already saying, give him a 2-year contract. And then there isn't the uncertainty of who'll come and who won't in the summer window. Because you know, Mark, immediately people will be saying, well, what's going to happen in the summer? And people just now, Thomas Kavanchara will probably start, I would imagine, on Sunday. But so far, nobody else in the door.
Yeah, I mean, it's been, you know, a slightly frustrating window for Celtic. There's still time to go and do a bit of work, but ideally, you know, you'd really be wanting players in ahead of Sunday, because it's a massive game at Tynecastle. It's a game that certainly Celtic can't afford to lose in terms of the title. Vanchara is in, as you said, Paul. I would imagine they would start, but Maeda in one wing and Yang on the other, but we'll wait and see. In terms of Martin O'Neill's future, the Celtic manager, I can understand the clamour to put him in place. It totally makes sense, Paul, what Brian's saying there. Give him a longer term deal, but it's up to Martin O'Neill. He's 73, going to be 74 in 5 weeks' time. It would really be down to him. Does he have the... I don't think energy's the right word. He's a young 73, but just there's... I mean, Barry will know. Barry's managed Rangers last year. The stress and everything that comes with it, you know, it's a big ask for anybody, never mind somebody at that kind of age. So I don't think it's something to be looking at just now. His focus will be on, for the next week, try to get more quality players into the club, and then try to go and chase down Hearts. But that starts on Sunday, and it's a game Celtic, as I say, they can't afford to lose. I think maybe, Paul, Derek McInnes and Martin O'Neill wouldn't be overly disappointed with Barry's ideal result, a draw. You know, I'm not saying it's an ideal result for either of them, but I think it's not a bad one for both teams.
Barry, interesting what Mark said there about the insight. None of us know what it's like to be the manager of Celtic or Rangers, and never will. You have done it at Rangers. What surprised you about it? Give us a little bit of the insight. I mean, you know all about the club. You were captain for so long, so successfully, but when you became the manager, what was different?
Well, it's 24/7. That's for sure. And certainly when you manage big clubs, you've got generally 3 games a week. So you've got to decide on what team you're going to go with, what formations you're going to go with, and listen, you go to bed thinking, and you wake up during the night thinking about it. So it's stressful as well, because you're under pressure again to win every single game, and if you don't win, then it's deemed not good enough. So I take my hat off to Martin O'Neill at that age, and listen to him doing his interviews. You get nervous before games. I was always really nervous before games, same as a player, but it's all on you. It's you that puts the team out, and it's on you. Generally it's not on the players. Yeah, the players have maybe not produced a good performance or a good result, but it always goes back to the manager. So yeah, but again, it's so rewarding as well.
In what way? Obviously,
well, it's rewarding when you get big results, of course, and when you win games of football, because that's why you're there. You're there to try and win games of football. But also, the flip side of that is when you lose a game, or when you draw a game. It's not a nice feeling, because you're going to get criticised. But that's just that's part of the job, I'm afraid, when you manage either Rangers or Celtic.
Mark,
I mean, one thing I would say just on Brian's point, and I made this point, Paul, 3 months ago when he's back, and surely now, and I'm not saying necessarily it would be Martin O'Neill as manager in the longer term, unless Martin wanted. Obviously, if Celtic won the league, you know, it would be a no-brainer to offer it, but it's whether he would want to go and do it, considering where he is in his life. However, what you don't do, you do not let him leave the building. You give him a role in some capacity, as they should have done. So it's on Dermot Desmond to make sure that Martin O'Neill speak to him. How do you think you can benefit the football club? If it's not as manager, what can you do? There's certainly a role for him there, whether a new manager comes in, whether it's helping the board to walk towards the supporters and start to heal the different factions that are there at the moment. I'm not quite sure. There could be a number of things, but do not let Martin O'Neill leave the building. You've got a major asset inside your football club, find a role for him.
Celtic fans, what do you think? You know the number 0808 17 17 700. We'll hear from Danny Rule in a moment or two, looking at the game last night. And Martin O'Neill speaking about the 2-2 draw in Bologna.
Yeah, it's always a great feeling if you the sort of performance was terrific, the result was really fine. I think my own view, I can't say for certain, but I think if we had stayed with 11 men the way we were playing at the time, I think we might have taken all 3 points. It wasn't to be. Backs to the wall certainly in the second half, and it's just a terrific effort. So we're still in the competition. We've a game on Thursday, and try and win that if we can. But that'll come Thursday. The big match is on Sunday.
Rangers winning 1-0 last night.
Yeah, you're right. I think the first win in Europe was always good for us. I think especially to keep the momentum. I think now 7 wins in a row, fantastic. From the last 9 games, 6 clean sheets as well. This is great. But yeah, I saw as well things to improve, and I think this is for me also the part. Yeah, I will not close my eyes and will say everything was nice. We know what we have to improve. We adjusted in the second half a little bit. Our pressing was a little bit braver. That was more what I like. Then we create a lot of good opportunities, and then we have to make the 2-3-0. I think we have this story very often, especially in these games. To the beginning and also in the halftime, I said, guys, the big difference at the moment in the league and Europe is that we need clean sheets. If you have clean sheets, we have a chance to win games. Yeah, all in all, I think big respect to the performance to my players. It feels at the moment we can win, but it's always hard working, and it was the big message after the game. When we think on Sunday we can go with 99%, then we have not this chance. We need again 100% to win the next game, and this is the crucial thing. We have to demand on ourselves high standards, and this means we have to deliver every 3 days now 100% to take wins.
Barry, he's delivered what's been so difficult to give, consistency for Rangers for a long time.
That's the key. Look, if you look at Rangers' performances since Danny Role's come in, you wouldn't say they're top class, but what he's done is he's organised the team. That's what he's done, and it looks to me if the players understand the manager's tactics as well, which is key, and I think they believe in that as well, which is key. And the big thing for me is clean sheets. If you don't concede goals, you've got a chance of winning games. And he said 6 clean sheets in 9 games, which is pretty good. If you take back previous to that, sure. Rangers were conceding goals left, right and centre. So 7 wins in the bounce, confidence is high. I think, as I said at the start of the show, the only thing I think that would be concerning the manager would be they have to be more clinical in front of goal.
They were a bit wasteful, weren't they?
Yep, they were wasteful. They get into great areas, whether it was that final ball or that opportunity to put it in the back of the net just wasn't there. So that's something that it's clear that they have to work on, and it's clear that he wants to strengthen up top, because that's where games are won.
Mark, Asgard is one of the ones. He does so many good things, but he is also wasteful. Actually, quite a good word for some of his distribution. Yeah,
I mean, Danny Role summed it up. You know, what he's looking for is go and get goal number 2, even goal number 3. Just let us relax, let us just take a breath and enjoy it. But it's always that kind of 1 goal lead, which is fine if you get over the finishing line. But he just wants it to be more clinical. I think we all kind of said, 3 or 4 weeks ago, it could be the battle of the number 9s in terms of Celtic and Rangers both looking for number 9s in the window. Chermiti gets the 2 goals at Celtic Park, 2 very different kind of goals, but 2 brilliant finishes for a centre forward, and you're kind of think, okay, is that him turned the corner? Maybe Rangers don't need a number 9 now, but I think you can see that they do, Paul. Ideally you get Danilo out and you bring somebody else in, whether it's a loan, whether it's permanent. So there's no doubt that Celtic have got a number 9 in, but I think they're still looking for another one, and Rangers still looking. So that battle is still going on, and I think it's clear, without him actually saying it, that Danny Rule very much wants to bring a centre forward in.
Barry, do you agree? And do you think that's what's happening? They'll try and get Danilo out just now, get another striker.
They'll try everything in their power to try and bring another striker in. I've no doubt about that. It's just whether they can get the right one. I don't think they'll go and just bring one in for the sake of bringing one in, but it's clear that as a position that needs strengthened. And as I said, you can look at it a couple of ways. The good thing about Rangers is that they are creating chances. They are, but it's just putting the ball in the back of the net. They have been wasteful at times, and they just need that wee clinical edge to go and, as Mark mentioned there, go and enjoy the last 20 minutes when you're 2 or 3 up. Go and knock the ball, and you can make a number of substitutions as well. But listen, you've got to give credit where credit's due. Since Danny's come into the job, he's done fantastic things in my opinion, because I was really worried. I was worried where the season was going to go, but he's come in at a difficult stage, because remember, it's not been any of his signings as well. He's just been allowed since January to bring in 3 of his own. So yep, he's done a real good job, but there's still work to be done. That's what I like. If you listen to his presser, he's still not 100% happy. He still believes, should I say, that they have to work hard on the training ground. I'm sure they're doing that day in, day out, to try and get that perfect performance.
We'll hear more from him about the transfers, who else is coming in, who is going out shortly, and what's he going to do about a problem called Finlay Curtis, who did so well last night.
He did. He done great last night. He came on. I mean, Annan game he started in the left-hand side and he finished at left back. Now, the great thing about Finlay is you could play him anywhere on the pitch, and that's a brilliant attribute to have. Certainly as a young player. I mean, he's only 19 years of age, so Rangers will need to sit down and think long and hard about it, because the most important thing for Finlay is his development as a player. He needs to be playing on a regular basis. Is that going to happen at Rangers this season? I very much doubt it. So probably the best thing for him is to go out and play week in, week out, and then he comes back in the summer, has a real strong pre-season, and then he can fight to get into that starting 11. But do you know what? I wouldn't be against keeping him, because you've seen when he came on last night, he affects it. He's got brilliant energy, and you've seen his bit of skill where he comes inside and has a brilliant shot with his left peg. Goalkeeper makes a great save. So it's a dilemma that Rangers have. But listen to the manager, I think he cares about his development, and I think looking at it from my point of view is, I think the best thing for him would to go out on loan.
Do you think so? Yeah.
Be at a club where
Kilmarnock probably.
Well, that's been mentioned, and he's going to go to a club who are under a bit of pressure. They're sitting second bottom in the league. They need to get out of that position, so there'll be a bit of pressure on him. But I've no doubt if he went there, he could handle that, no problem. Known him personally for the 3 months that I worked with him. So,
and you played him, of course. Do you think he could be there? We could be there tomorrow, Motherwell, playing for.
Yeah, he could be there to the end of the season. Yeah. So they have to make a decision on what they're going to do. But whatever decision they make, it'll be for the benefit of Finlay's career. I've no doubt about that. But I do think he's got a big career at Rangers.
Let's hear from Danny Rule about the signings he has in already. I think we're going to see 2 of them this weekend.
Yeah, 2 will not be available for the weekend, but Torchi and Scoff will be. I think this is great. This is good for us. I think we have to rotate a little bit, but I will not rotate too much, because at the moment there's also momentum in the group. Some players, they really stepped up. Some players, they try a lot. But it's good to have a different bench. I think today that was also a small group on the bench. Tomorrow I have 17 players in the training. Even we played today. I think that shows a lot where we are at the moment. And everyone can show and can be ready for the next game. We need this competition.
Rangers fans, what are you looking for? Barry, what are you thinking there?
There's a lot of players.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're looking at it, the starting 11 won't train, and then there's 17 there, so they're top heavy. Because when I look at it, a squad in the Premier League, when you're going for all competitions, you're looking at a squad 22 to carry, and then you've got a few young players as well. So I think over the next week or so, you'll certainly see more going out the door. Kieran Dowell looks to he's away to Hull City. Lyle Cameron's at Aberdeen. And I do think you'll see another 3 or 4 get out on loan.
More from Danny Rule and Barry on that shortly. What about Martin O'Neill? Asked about transfers. We know that Shvan Chara will have to play on Sunday. It looks as though Johnny Kenny does have an injury, but he probably would have played. Here's Martin O'Neill asked today about transfers. What's the latest?
Well, of course, I think we know this here, that we've got one player in. There's another number of days left before that there. Whether we get anybody else in before Hearts or not, I'm not too sure. But we are trying. It's a process really for us to try and see right to the end. And I mean, it's something that I wasn't expecting a way back. End of December, beginning of January. I wasn't actually thinking about players up and down the country or in Europe or things like this here. So for me, you'd want to try and be as right as you possibly can. But sometimes I'm relying on a number of people here in the back room who have been fantastic for me.
Mark, what do you reckon in the next few days? Fofana's been mentioned again that he could be on his way to Celtic. I don't know if that is true, but could you see another striker coming in?
Yeah, I mean, I think Celtic probably in the market for another striker. Paul, it's well documented they're looking for someone on the right hand side, maybe a right sided centre back. They've also filled the right back slot, and they've got the big Czech lad in who probably going to play at some point on Sunday, so they're working hard with it. If they get somebody in tomorrow, would you get them registered in time for Sunday? I'm not so sure, but certainly you've got to keep going, whether it's loan deals, whether it's permanent transfers as well. And the other thing too, Paul, even with loan deals now with players, we're talking about Rangers maybe letting guys go on loan. It's like if Celtic are looking at players, so are you taking a player in loan with an option to buy?
Yeah.
But clubs letting their players go, Paul, they want an obligation to buy. They want you to make something in writing that means that you're going to take my player, or take our player rather, at the end of the season, and you're never quite sure. So if you're only maybe want to do it with an option to buy, clubs would probably say, well, do you know what, we'll wait a few days to see if we can get somebody to take them with an obligation. So there's all the wee different facets that go into it. Not making excuses at all. I think again it's been a kind of slow process, not been helped by the change of manager and stuff. But I think it's, as Celtic fans have said many times, they just want the club in the last couple of windows to have been more proactive, more in the front foot in terms of getting personnel in a lot sooner than what they've done.
So much to come in the next 90 minutes or so. It's the Go Radio Football Show. We're back in a moment.
The Go Radio Football Show with Burger King.
Yep, I'm just getting all the comments coming in from a lot of Celtic fans saying who is going to be coming in. What about Thomas Kvanchara? And we are going to hear from him, Mark, shortly. He's speaking to the media this afternoon. So he's maybe not an out-and-out striker. I heard somebody saying that. I think Martin O'Neill was asked about him. What kind of striker? I mean, we're going to find out soon. So does he just play off someone else? Or because Celtic, depending on him, to get some goals.
Yeah, I mean, they're just looking to help contribute to victories, Paul. It's all about getting wins. If you can score goals, great. If you're helping them with assists, you're holding the ball up, you're bringing others into play. They just, they lack a lot of things at the number 9 area. But Maeda has been really good for Celtic, but he's not a natural centre forward, so they're just looking for someone to come in and be an improvement in what they've got. So they believe that Vanchara can add to the team. I believe certainly from what people at Celtic are saying that have dealt with him behind the scenes, he's really hungry, Paul. Obviously his career's been a bit stop-start in the last 6 months, year or so there's a hunger there. He absolutely gets what it's about. There's a title on the line. He wants to come and be a champion and help Celtic retain the title in the next 4 months. And it starts on Sunday, like we say. There's 16 games to go. There's 48 points up for grabs, and we've got a 3-way fight, and it really starts on Sunday. And for Hearts, it's a massive blow, Paul. He's losing Shankland, sure. A massive blow. Devlin's out.
There's
as
no
well.
Beningame is there as well.
Beningame suspended for Sunday, but to lose Lon Shankland, that is a serious blow for Hearts. And I just hope that he's okay and can get back playing, obviously, for this club and for the World Cup as well.
Let's hear Martin O'Neill speaking. He said that Ian Atchell trained today for maybe, I think, only the second time, so he obviously didn't go to Italy. He was back training.
He trained today, yes. That's I think that might be his second day. He didn't travel with us. He's been doing some training, and he did fine today. I'm glad to see him back. That helps us if that's the case. It might be a bit of a stretch to start him in a game at the moment, but at least he's going to be available.
Vanchara has been training as well, as you can imagine. He spoke about him this afternoon.
Yeah, he trained yesterday with the B lads, and he trained this morning, and he's ready to go. I wouldn't want to put too much pressure on him. You know, he's not going to be. He's not just going to be the panacea for all our ills and woes and stuff like that. But just let him get settled in. I think he'll make an impact. I hope he does. And but again, I just wouldn't want to be putting extreme pressure on him to solve all our problems.
Barry at the back last night, Austin Trusty, I see he was certainly Celtic's man of the match, and he said a lot of criticism, but he gets the goal, and he obviously played magnificently to keep it down to 2 goals.
Yeah, listen, it was waves of attack from Bologna in the second half, and that's where Martin O'Neill needed these 2 centre backs and both full backs as well, and the sitting midfielders to stand strong, and certainly Trusty was key to that. Every ball that came into the box, it seemed that he was the one that was heading it out, and obviously gets his goal. Yep, he's come under for a bit of criticism. He was out of the team for a fair period of time as well. But listen, he showed his qualities, and he showed the reason why Celtic paid all that money for him.
Utrecht on Thursday, Mark. Obviously they'll think only about the Hearts game just now, but suddenly you can see how the season for Rangers has kind of turned round. It was almost written off, 2.5 months ago, and for Celtic it was never written off, but it was going the wrong way under Wilfred Nosey. What was that, 8 games, 6 of them, 2 wins out of 8. But this weekend and the game with Utrecht, pretty crucial for Celtic if they can win, or as you mentioned, maybe a draw. But a win at Tynecastle would be huge for them.
Yeah, I mean, I think last night, Paul, albeit they've had 10 men, so that tired legs, tired minds, but they've dug in, and pre-match, Martin O'Neill, it was a very simple message pre-match at the media conference. I want my players to put their heart and soul into it. We're going to need heart and soul to come away from Bologna with a positive result. And they got a positive result last night, 11v11. I agree with them. I think they would have won the game, looking at the evidence on display, the opening 25-30 minutes. But a point, still a very good result. And as much as they'd be tired, Paul, I think it allows you to go with a spring in your step. It's like when they come back from Feyenoord. Did they go to Easter Road? I think. I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, they'll have a spring in their step. They'll feel good about themselves. They think, you know what, we've got a battling point here. We're now going to Tynecastle, another difficult away game. But I would expect Celtic on the back of that to start on the front foot. Even though you've got a packed Tynecastle, you've got the Hearts fans going for it. The fact that Shanklin's not there, Devlin's not there, I would just expect Celtic to be on the front foot and Hearts just kind of eyeing them up and try and hit them in the counter.
Barry, Rangers have done that a few times as well, haven't they? After a tough European game, they've come back and they've done really well. And going to Tynecastle, Martin O'Neill talks about it, it's the sort of second most hostile atmosphere, the biggest atmosphere outside Govan.
Look, as a football player, that's one of the stadiums where you're desperate to go and play in, and the atmosphere will be absolutely electric at 3 o'clock on Sunday. And look, I know they went through a lot of the game with 10 men, but the way that they're looked after now, Paul, they're all good professionals, and once you get out and you get that warm-up done and then you sample the atmosphere, then tiredness goes out the head.
Billy's on, a Rangers fan, saying, Barry, there was a few questions last night, and Danny Rule will speak about it, about set-piece goals, Rangers maybe depending on them rather than from free play. Let's hear what he said last night when it was put to him after the game.
Yeah, I think what I saw today, we create good opportunities in open play, but this is then again the finalization. We take the wrong decision sometimes. We want to be, we want to score by our own instead of we make the extra pass to the teammate, give them the opportunity. I think this is a part what we have to improve. But we should not forget, if you create not touches and opportunity around the box, you will not have the set plays. I think this is also part. We create these things Second half, I think 3-4 good opportunities to score 2-3-0. Then we had some dangerous ball losing situation where I was not so happy. The pressing was braver. That was more what I like. But general, of course, yeah, we want to score more. It was a big topic this week. We spoke about final third, how we and which spaces we want to occupy. I think I saw some good moments where we made the right runs, but then not the right decisions. Or in other situations, we make the right decisions, but not the right runs. And I think this is a part what we have to improve. And on Sunday we have the next opportunities.
Barry, what do you make of it?
I do think they're creating enough opportunities, Paul, but also you've got to be good at set pieces for and against, and that's something that's key in the game. There's a lot of football games that are won and lost with set pieces, so it's crucial, and you can see they're very good at set pieces. You can see the work on it in the training ground. But I just felt last night Rangers at times were trying to maybe score the perfect goal. They just get a strike on goal, and they're maybe trying to back heel it and are flicking it, just take a touch and bang, hit it. And that's the thing, you can hear that he's pretty frustrated about it, and it's something they'll have to change going forward. But I'll go back to what I said at the start. They have to be more clinical, because I would worry more if they're not creating the chances. They are creating the chances. It's just making sure they finish off their chances.
Mark?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's a lot to be pleased about. Set pieces are so important, and Rangers have picked up a lot of points. Big Fernandez, really playing his part in the opposition area, being a real threat. You can see that he's getting special treatment now, Paul. Anytime Rangers have got a free kick or corner, get into the box, and then on Rangers clean sheets. Yeah. It's about also being good at defending set pieces and being honest when you saw Rangers under Russell Martin and I saw the likes of Fernandez and Giga, I'm thinking, you wouldn't get a centre half if you put the two of them together. For him, for Danny Rule to then come in and have as many clean sheets as he had. I know that Butland's had a few saves to make, but that's what he's there for. I think it's a real credit to him as well that he's really made them solid. He's just gone about his business quite quick. You know yourself, Paul, sometimes be a bit frustrated from a media point of view. He's not giving you headlines, Danny Rule. Sure. He doesn't attract attention. But what he says, it makes sense, and they've just ghosted in there. I know certainly from my point of view, end of September, I wouldn't have put 2 bob in Rangers to win the title. But you look at them now, they're right into the mix, and Danny Rule and his staff, and obviously the players, deserve a lot of credit.
Barry, the manager was probably annoyed with Miofsky, who had a chance. You'd want to see more from him as well. I mean, a hat-trick last week.
Yeah, Paul, when I seen it, I just want to strike on goal. I don't know. I mean, you think he would have confidence with scoring a hat-trick last Friday against Dannon. He's got to be looking at having a pop at goal there. That's one that really frustrated the manager. You could see him on the touchline. He was going crazy there, and so were the teammates. But I think if you ask Miofsky again, if he gets that opportunity similar, he'll do the opposite. He'll just take a touch and bang, hit it on goal.
So you reckon Rangers, though, they're looking for more players. I see on the wires this afternoon they're saying Rangers could be interested in a 20-year-old Tromsø midfielder, Jens Hjerto Dahl. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I think he's looking at least 2 or 3 still, and I think you'll see 2 or 3 coming through the door. I know behind the scenes they're working extremely hard to try and get players in, but it has to be the right players, and it has to be players that I've said in previous shows that are going to come in and strengthen the starting 11.
Mark? Arne Engels, he's been linked with RB Leipzig, but the word is he wants to stay. He's enjoying life under Martin O'Neill, and you couldn't imagine Celtic would want to lose anyone just now. Although, if it's an attractive offer and they're bringing other players in the next few days, well, Celtic's trading model is often that way. What do you feel on Engels?
Well, he's got the assist last night. He's got the front post. I think he's a player that I think he frustrates a lot of Celtic supporters. It's not helped with the price tag that's been paid. But right now, Paul, I think you're right. I don't think Celtic can let anybody's go out the door, particularly someone like Engels, for whatever people think of him. He's a regular starter under Martin O'Neill. He plays his part in the midfield. I quite like him. Yes, he's frustrating. Yes, you're looking for more, but I do like his qualities. And if Celtic are selling just now, Paul, you're taking a serious hit in that 11 million, a serious hit. So I think that's one that you look at in the summer. I think you have 2 years in his deal to go. So you either extend or you move him on. And Celtic will be hoping that, again, collectively, that he makes a contribution to them becoming champions. All of a sudden, if you win the league again, you think, okay, you've played your part. You either sign a new deal or you look to recoup a bit of the chunk of the money that you've shelled out from. So, yeah, there's interest in him, but I'd be very surprised if he was allowed to go in the next 9 or 10 days.
Seeing in terms of Engels, I just can't make my mind up what his best position is. I'm unsure whether it's one of the sitters or a bit further forward. It's like kind of in between them. And when I'm watching him last night, I don't know whether he's better getting let off the leash to go and up and support the forward players, or is he better sitting in there beside Callum McGregor? I just can't make my mind up. But there's no doubt he's got ability. Yeah. He's a good player. It's just where his best position is. That's the problem for me.
Ray Hatate, good player, of course. What a half hour for him. He scores Celtic's opening goal. What a howler from the Polish goalkeeper. I mean, an absolute howler. In 5 minutes, Hatate scores. He gets booked in, 32 minutes, 35 minutes. It's all over for him. Martin O'Neill spoke about the 2 yellows.
The second, Hatate definitely, he stamps on his foot, but that was like a complete accident. Now, I must admit, you would say that just be careful. You've just been booked before that there. But I thought it was really innocuous. And of course, it is a major game changer. It turns the game round. But we are so comfortable in the match, find ourselves in a really great position, and suddenly the game turns, and you're having to sit or defend for long periods in the second half. We couldn't get out. They're a very, very fine side, a really good team, and a lot of good players. But as I say, we showed great heart and desire, and that saw us through.
Mark, needless bookings.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Martin O'Neill's watched it back. For me, at first when I'm watching it live, or certainly on the telly, I'm thinking, oh, that's no a yellow card. I thought it was more of a coming together. But when I see the replay, I think you totally understand why the referee has given it. I think it's one of those ones had he not given it, you think, okay, it wasn't a major yellow card, if that makes sense. But you can see the fact that Hatate's given the referee a decision to make. It's also right in front of the linesman there as well, just 10 yards away from him. So it was silly. It really was silly from Hatate, and it was needless. Both his bookings were absolutely needless, and I think he cost his side certainly 2 points last night.
And the first one, Barry, the two Glasgow boys, Hatate, we know he's Japanese, and Lewis Ferguson, when a wee nibble at each other.
And listen, I just think it's a bit of frustration from Hatate, but you've got to understand he's in the touchline, he's not going anywhere as well.
Yeah. What was the point?
That's why I think it's a needless yellow card. And then the second yellow card, he does stamp on him, but you see he brings his arm across as well. It's just, you're still in the referee's mind at that stage, because he's just been booked. So, and he's got good experience at that. So, I agree with Mark. It's a silly second booking, and obviously he lets his teammates down, and then it's backs to the walls.
Liam, a Celtic fan, saying, Barry, your brother didn't go out to see his son play against the other Glasgow team. No surprise, maybe. So Derek didn't go, did he? He didn't go over to see him.
None of the family went. I don't think you'd have been made welcome on some of the flights.
You could have been incognito. Could have been like Emmanuel Macron with the sunglasses on and a bonnet.
It was good to see him start, but just because he's been in and out of the team, which is I heard him doing his presser the day before, and he was very open and honest and spoke very well of him. Being honest again, he's frustrated.
He must be.
He is. He's frustrated. He understands. There's a World Cup coming up in the summer, as everybody knows. We all think or believe that he's going to be in that, but as a footballer, you want to be playing week in, week out, and he's found himself in and out of the team, which is disappointing. But I like the way that he answered back in terms of, listen, he'll get his head down and he'll continue to work hard and try and force his way back in the team to be a regular starter.
Quick break, then we're back next.
The Go Radio Football Show with Burger King.
Yeah, what a weekend, and it kicks off tonight with Arbroath against Morton. Of course, the Red Lichties against the Tawn. Looking forward to that one. Barry, you love your Friday night in front of the box, don't you?
Yeah, listen, You're some man. You can tell it's a Friday, can't you?
Indeed. And then,
I enjoy watching the Championship on a Friday. Sitting down watching it with my dinner and a wee glass of wine.
Magic. Then tomorrow, Aberdeen against Livy at 3, Dundee United St Mirren, Falkirk against Hibs, and Motherwell against Kilmarnock. A great game at Fir Park. And then Sunday, the little matter of Hearts against Celtic and Rangers against Dundee. We're going to hear from Thomas Chivanchara.
What
and
do you think
the
of people?
lines.
What do you think of people that laugh at their own jokes? He loves it, doesn't he?
I worked with Big Derek Johnson for years, and he would always laugh at his own jokes. Big Derek.
He had a few belters today.
He did, didn't he? Right. Kevin Chara, he says, are you fit and ready? Oh, we might never know. It's playing up again. Kevin's on the line. Hi, Kevin.
Preparation in Germany, basically full January, so for me it's no problem to jump in. So I would say that I'm ready.
Okay, he says he's ready. He's had a good chat with the manager, Martin O'Neill.
Yeah, to be honest, we spoke a lot already today morning because we going together on the training ground from the hotel. So yeah, I mean, we spoke together also before we make this loan happen. So I know what he expects from me, and it was just like basic things. They come back after the game, so there was also not like so much time to talk about bigger things, I would say.
6'3" Czech striker. What kind of player are you?
Yeah, I think I'm quite fast. I don't have problem to go in the duels. But I would say also, as the coach said, that I'm not like typical striker, which will just stay between the defenders and wait until the team prepare me some chances. Of course, I think it's the easiest way to do. So I have no problem with that also. But I think I can offer a little bit more.
Kevin's on the line. Hi, Kevin. Good evening.
How you doing, boys?
Yeah, good. Thanks. You okay? Happy after last night?
It was a brilliant result. It was good watching it. For the first half, we started off really, really well. Put them under a bit of pressure. The keepers had an absolute nightmare for the first goal, right enough, but it was good that we took advantage of that. The second half, we needed a completely different type of performance. We needed to kind of roll the sleeves up and dig in, and it was good to see the players show that fight and that heart to make sure that they came away with at least a point. I think every single player deserves a lot of credit. Not so happy with Rio. To be honest, I think his time's up at Celtic anyway, but he's just a bit of a liability. The amount of times that the ball's rolled into him and he gives the ball away. He did it in the first half. They didn't really score for it. But the tackles was crazy. I mean, somebody should educate him how to anyway. That if you get anywhere near a Ferguson, they're going to hit the deck, so he should have known better. But all joking aside, it was a brilliant result, but a wee bit disappointed with Rio. And I also think Schmeichel didn't cover himself in glory with both of the goals either.
Yeah, Mark, especially the second one. What did you feel about both goals? Kasper Schmeichel.
Yeah, the second one obviously raises questions. That's the obvious one where people are going to look at him. I've got a bit of sympathy with him on the second one. The way it's dipping is a wee bit onside. It's maybe come through scales. I can't quite remember. And the first goal, I think you've been really harsh on him with the first goal, Kevin. At no point did it cross my mind. I think no, the goalkeeper's at fault there. Absolutely. Listen, I know Schmeichel's thrown a few in this season. There's no doubt. He's struggled for consistency, but last night he had a couple of good saves. I think you've been a wee bit hard on him.
Barry, the second one, you thought, I thought, well, he must be unsighted. Yeah, he didn't move.
When I was watching it, I'm thinking, why is he not moved? But then you look at there's a bunch of players in front of him. It's so difficult, and how light the balls are, and how hard these players can strike them. Yeah, I wouldn't put the blame on Schmeichel for that goal.
Kevin, I'm going to ask you about Sunday, but here's Martin O'Neill today with the injury update.
We're fine. Johnny Kenny's picked up a bit of a calf strain. We'll see how it is now. I think he's gone for some sort of scans this afternoon, but we'll see. And he might be a doubt. I'm not sure, but he just said he felt it during the course of the time he was on. But hopefully, other than that, we're ready to go.
Kevin, what are you feeling ahead of the game on Sunday?
We're getting here a wee bit confident. I mean, since Martin's come in, we've got some good results. We've had, obviously not last night, but we've had clean sheets. We've got the new striker in, Svanchara, who, you can only tell so much on YouTube, but he does look like a good player, and he had a great start to his career when he got his big move to, I think it was Sparta. It was Sparta Prague at first, and then he got another move to Borussia, and he started off really well there. So if we get the player that was in between Sparta Prague and his first season in Borussia at Mönchengladbach, we've got a good player in our hands, and I think he's the kind of player that we need, really fast. So reminds me a wee bit like Samaras, that deceptively fast player. But I'm really looking forward to it. So obviously, we can't afford to lose it, but it would have been nice to have a couple of other players in. We've not managed that. But it is what it is. Hearts have got a couple of players who are injured, so it's a good opportunity for us. And no meaning to put Barry on the spot here, right? I know you were talking about Engels earlier on, and Barry, I'm being 100% serious here. If we sell Engels, with the big man not getting a game at Bologna, would there ever be a chance that you think he would maybe even consider a move to Celtic if Celtic stumped up the money?
Listen, I don't know what Lewis is. Lewis is his own guy. No doubt. I think there'll be a fair bit of interest in him, Kevin, if I'm being honest with you, because I think a lot of clubs will be looking and thinking he's not playing, and what's the reasons? Yep, and I don't know whether it's down to form. I've watched Bologna a few times. He's not been at top form, but he's still been good. So I can see.
I think a bad injury, though, to be fair.
Yeah, you've got to remember that as well. Yep, he was out for 8 or 9 months with a cruciate. But listen, he's fully fit and he's ready to go. And I'm sure a lot of clubs will be looking and thinking, right, he's not playing weekend.
Maybe a cheeky loan move to the end of the season, maybe, just to get in the Scotland squad, just to ensure.
Yeah. A wee cheeky loan move to Rangers would be nice.
Yeah. Come
on, don't ruin my weekend.
Mark, it was mentioned the other night, Peter Grant, I put it to him about Engels. I said, is there a chance Lewis Ferguson's not playing enough? World Cup year, could Celtic swoop and get him on a loan or sign him?
Well, look, he's a quality player. He would enhance the Celtic team. I don't think there's any doubt about that, as Kevin's pointed out. Hatate's gone off the boil. Again, that comes down to timing, knowing when to let players go, know when they've come in and done their bit. I think that applies to Maeda and Hatate, although I have a feeling they'll probably both still be around. I think they've still got roles to play, but I understand Kevin's frustration. Engels, again, he's frustrating, but I think there's a quality player in there. But if Lewis Ferguson, was to indicate, or Bologna were to indicate that he's available to go out and loan, I think there'll be a number of clubs all over Europe that would want him, and he would need to go and pick somewhere where he feels, I'm actually going to play, because he's not only in the Scotland squad. I think now he's actually become a starter. He's become a starter for Steve Clarke. So he now wants to be a starter. Yes, of course he'll be happy to be part of the squad, but he wants to do enough to show that he can keep starting for Scotland and help them get big results. So I've no idea if Bologna want to let him go, but if they do, he won't be short of offers.
Yeah, you've got to remember, he's not a young kid anymore. He's 26 now. Lewis, he's got good experience. I mean, he played a lot of football even before he went to Bologna. Played week in, week out for Aberdeen, who under Derek McInnes were a strong team, were a good team, and he's obviously gained so much experience. And do you know what was brilliant? I was listening to his presser the other day, just fluent.
It's brilliant, isn't it? Yeah.
It just makes me laugh.
Can you not give lessons to you, Derek?
But do you know what?
Kyle?
I'm actually sitting watching it on my phone and thinking, do you know what? That's amazing.
You must be proud.
It is. It's brilliant to see. Brilliant to see. And then he just switches it.
Huh? Does he?
Yeah. Great.
Mangiare, Listen, Kevin, we'll let you Mangiare enjoy your dinner. No chance it's Friday night. We're back after the news.
Football Show with Burger King. Watch live at 5 p.m. weekdays on YouTube. Join the conversation on 0808 17 17 700. Talking Scottish football first.
Yep, we're live on Go Radio and DAB and wherever you get your podcasts. And we're also on YouTube. So thank you for making the switch every night from 5. I think I'm allowed to tell you that there's been over 1 million hits in the last couple of weeks on the Football Show. I'm probably saying it not in the right way there, Mark, but you'll know these things. But it's magnificent. So thank you to everyone who is making the switch and enjoying us in all these different formats that you can pick up the Go Radio Football Show with our friends at Burger King. Remember, tonight, if you can predict the results of all the games in the Premiership correctly, we're giving you the chance to win £1,000 with our score predictor with our friends at Sheffield Timber. Predict the weekend's Premiership results as either a win, a loss or a draw. You could be picking up £1,000 on Monday. Mark, that would be all right. Barry, that would do for the weekend. Yep.
Well, wouldn't they have?
£1,000, yeah.
That would help.
Busy weekend coming for you? Busy weekend coming up. There's so much football, isn't there?
Yeah, I'll bet the game on Sunday. Got a burn supper.
For far, you're on his son's face.
Burn supper tomorrow night.
Can you do any burns?
No.
Oh, come on, just a wee bit. Come on.
Come on.
Just
get on about football here.
Mark, did he like the football, the burns? Probably not. Too early. No, he's not having it. He's a serious. I don't know the
buns as well. Honestly, I'm not sure about it. I like the haggis and all that.
I know it. I know somebody comes out and talks to haggis.
Yeah, you're looking forward to it the weekend, and I'm sure it'll be.
No, they're normally good nights.
They certainly will be. They're here, there, and everywhere. We're going to hear a bit more from Thomas Chvanchara, a favourite of Rabbi Burns. I was trying to get some kind of link. I can't find it. Kilmarnock. Let's talk about Kilmarnock. Let's talk about Ayr United. Queen of the South down at Dumfries from the Burns country. 0808 17 17 700. Help me out here on this one.
No, I'll tell you what about Kilmarnock. You mentioned them.
Yes.
That's a tough one they're going to tomorrow.
It is.
Motherwell at Fir Park.
Yeah, sure is, yeah. And Motherwell want every single point they can get, Barry, because they want to be as high as they can be. They're going to be top six, aren't they? And they're pushing the top spot in Europe.
100% going to be. Top six. They've been exceptional this season. Very good to watch. The managers come in, brought a total different style, and the players have certainly bought right into that, and the fans are loving it. The Motherwell fans are loving the new manager and loving the way that the team are going about their business.
Mark, I want to talk Motherwell, but also inevitably Maswanisi. His name came up all week. It's gone quiet, but I think Celtic may well sign somebody else for money, and Maswanisi would probably cost what, 2.5, 3 million?
I think, Paul, that I think there's no doubt. There's clear that there's an admiration there from Celtic, but Motherwell, unless it's silly money, and I mean silly money, they're not going to sell. There's interest from Serie A in Maswanisi as well, so I would imagine, Paul, that they're in a good financial position just now. They want to obviously try and get a minimum of fourth place, if not try and sneak third. Hearts, Rangers, Celtic take points off each other, but I would say an absolute minimum to even get the slightest bit of attention from the Motherwell hierarchy. You're looking at a starting bid of £3 million from Maswanisi. Absolutely, and I totally agree with that.
Barry, would you pay $3 million if you were the manager?
Yeah, he's impressed me.
15 goals.
Yep, international as well. Is it Zimbabwe?
Yep.
Yeah, very impressed. Again, he's one of these players, and I like to see that. Like, you don't know anything about them. They come into this country, and listen, he's been top notch for Motherwell. And yeah, I agree with Mark. If I'm Motherwell, I'm looking upwards of £3 million for him.
Tony's on YouTube and he's saying, can Neil McCann turn things round at Kilmarnock? Doesn't look like there'll be a lot of money to spend over the next 10 days. Finlay Curtis, the only player they might be bringing in. That's what he seems to think. Well, we don't know for sure, Barry. We were talking about it in the first hour. You're kind of on the fence. You're not sure about Finlay Curtis, whether or not, I mean, I know you really like him, no question, but would you loan him out to Kilmarnock and you get more game time, or would you keep him at
that's
Rangers?
Going to be the manager's decision in terms of, is he going to use him? Probably not with the new signings coming in. Certainly Olsen, who's a forward player similar to Finlay, same position, and I do think they'll go and strengthen up top. So the thing that Rangers are going to do is think of Finlay Curtis as a footballer and think he's development, and that, if you're pushing me, I think it would be better for Finlay to go out and play week in, week out, or get an opportunity, because you can't be guaranteed to play week in, week out. For instance, if you go to Kilmarnock, you'll need to show that he should be in the starting 11, and I can see the reason why Neil McCann would want him. He worked with him alongside myself for 3 months, and he's a very impressive young man. That's what I can say about him, and he certainly got the credentials to be a Rangers player in the future.
Mark, as you know, it's very difficult though at such a young age to go from a winning team like Rangers to Kilmarnock, who at the moment are not. Yeah,
I mean, I think if Kelly can get him, and obviously Barry's point is key, that Neil McCann and Billy Dodds know him inside out, so they clearly feel he can come and enhance that Kilmarnock team, certainly give them a chance, you know, on the front foot of going trying to get victories, because that's what they need to do in the remaining 16 games. But the other way to look at it, if I'm Rangers and he's Scottish, and I think you've got to show that, you know, there is a pathway for Scottish players. So if it's me right now, Paul, I'm thinking, well, I'd rather see Antman go. Put Antman out on loan or one of the, you know, whatever, and keep Finlay Curtis. And also as well, okay, he wouldn't get as much game time at Rangers than they would at Kilmarnock, I don't think. However, if they keep him, Rangers are still in the Scottish Cup, they're going for a league title. The experience he'll have of being involved in a group that's trying to become a champion in the next 16 games, you know, that experience would be vital for him, and he could make a contribution. So again, Barry's totally right. It depends what Danny Rule thinks, what they can do themselves. But I'd be tempted to keep him, but I know they need to get players. Well, they don't need to, but there's a willingness to go and get players out the door just to help balance the books. I'd rather see one of the others go and keep Finlay Curtis.
From a selfish point of view, I would love him to stay at Rangers, but it's just thinking his development. I keep going back to that. Like that experience he would get. Like he's in a Rangers squad just now that are winning. That's a different experience for him. He's going down to a place where he's under pressure, but pressure to get out of that second bottom position. So again, that could be the making of the young man. But yeah, it's a decision that's going to be solely down to the manager. He's going to decide. And I agree with Mark. Came up with a good point. It is good to see a young player getting the opportunity and be in there, and that could be a sign for the younger players to look and think, there is a pathway here. Yeah.
A Scottish player. Yeah. Rangers started
There's
with
nothing
no
better.
Scots last
I've
night.
always said it, Paul. There's nothing better than seeing a young Scottish player come through the system at your club.
Let's hear the manager Danny Rule speak about Finlay Curtis and other potential exits.
Yeah, I think for Finlay it's also about development in the next months. Yeah, we have to make sure that he get a lot of game time. I think he performed well against Annen. I think there was he played at first winger, then left fullback. Today he comes on, has his moments. I had a conversation with him 1 week ago. It's not easy for a young man to have a little bit of hype around him and then to be patient and to have to deliver. But this is also a process when you're growing from a young player to an experienced one. This moment, at the moment he is player from us. Let's see what we will do.
What's going to happen now?
That tells me that slightly moving towards it, he will go out on loan.
Right. Yeah. So he could be playing Motherwell Killie tomorrow.
And it'll not be a bad thing for him.
Yeah.
Look, Neil and Billy have worked with him. The Rangers people inside Ibrox will know that he's going to a place where he'll get looked after and well coached, and he'll get pushed as well. Got to remember that. You need to push the young players. They can't be comfortable all the time. So if it's going to happen, I think that would be an ideal move for him.
0808 17 17 700, the Go Radio Football Show with Burger King. What do you think, Rangers fans? Celtic fans, what a game coming on Sunday, defining for the season, certainly for the league campaign. Mark, I don't know whether you'd say it's not going to be all over at this if Celtic were to lose, but a 9-point gap, wow. Martin O'Neill was asked about that today. What about the game? How important is it to you?
It's going to be very big, yeah, no question about it. If we get beaten, it's a long way back for us. It's a bit of a trek at the minute. So we would go out to try and win the game if we can. And I think that, it's not the end of the road, but 9 points would be a lot to claw back, and so many games left. What would that be? 15 after that?
Yeah, it would indeed. And he was asked title favourites.
Well, let me put it this way: I wish we were going into this game with 6 points in front.
Mark,
I mean, I can understand why the bookies have got Celtic favourites. Paul, right now, I have Hearts as favourite. I've said it. They're the team to beat. They've got a lovely 6-point cushion. But losing Shankland's a blow, and no team's a one-man team. I get that, but bearing in mind what he's going to be out for, and I've highlighted Hearts' next 5 games starting on Sunday in the league. It's Celtic. They finish off the 5-game process going to Ibrox on February the 15th, and in between they've got an Edinburgh derby. They go to Tannadice and they go to Paisley. Wow. to do all that without Lawrence Shankland and Cammy Devlin, I think it's a huge blow. What I would say is I think a point would kind of suit both teams. I gave you Martin O'Neill. If Hearts win, wow, that is a massive step towards the title. If Hearts go and win on Sunday, that is a massive step. And I'm not saying that it eliminates Celtic, but it makes the job for me probably too much for Celtic to claw back 9 points. However, if Celtic win, Paul, I would then agree with the bookies. I would make Celtic favourites if they go to Tynecastle and win. And then you've got Rangers who, as I've said, just quietly going about it, but they're in the mix. They've got a home game against Dundee on Sunday afternoon, so they've certainly, out of Rangers, Hearts and Celtic, it's the easiest of the three to go and try and get 3 points. But you could put the three in the hat, genuinely, I believe that. You could put the three of them in the hat right now and pick one out. But Hearts, you've got to give them credit because they've got that 6 point cushion with 16 games to go. It's not a flash in the pan. They are proper title contenders, but Sunday will be a massive indication as to how they can cope the next 5 games without Shankland and Devlin.
Here's Derek McInnes.
Yeah, I think it's a good reference point for us, the fact that this group of players have already shown that they can win these types of games. Sunday's a different game, obviously, and Celtic under Martin, obviously it's not come up against Martin as a manager, come up against him often enough as a player, and you know Celtic are in a different place as well, so it's a tough game for us, but equally it'll be a tough game for them as well. So we're looking forward to it. It's another opportunity to try and strike a blow to a direct opponent who in and around us in the league, and I think any time you can beat a team of Celtic's quality at any time, it gives you that confidence to go on. So no, looking forward to the game for many reasons.
Barry, it's going to be some game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one. Well, I was going to say I would look forward to watching, but I'll not be able to watch it because I'll be at the Rangers game. But yeah, listen, as I said at the start of the show, I think it's one that both teams will go for the win. If Hearts get the win, 9 points, it will be difficult for Celtic to claw that back. But on the other hand, if Celtic go and win the game, then they're right back in it. But looking at it, I honestly believe this will go right down to the wire with Hearts, Celtic and Rangers.
Derek spoke about...
And it's amazing I'm saying this about Rangers. Sure. Yeah. So credit where credit's due again. They're right in it. But the ideal result for Rangers would be a draw.
Derek McInnes spoke about the players who are being out.
Yeah, listen, there's no getting away from it, but you know, I've got to try and concentrate on the players who are fit and available and be ready for that one. You know, obviously losing key players is part of it. You've got to try and cope with that throughout a season. We've got a number of injuries going on at the minute, and it's not ideal. Some will focus on key players like Lawrence and Cammy and the rest of it, but you know, we're just trying to work our way through a situation at the minute where we can deal with injuries, and that's the test. You know, it's a season's a long season, and you have to kind of deal with these in a moment. So, and deal with them we will. You know, we feel as if we've got good players in the building, and when there's any disappointment for certain players through a longer term injury, then it presents that opportunity. We're hoping we can get Ayew back for the last part of the season, and Oisin McEntee potentially be fit for the weekend. So it's not all doom and gloom, and it's easy to feel a bit negative. But for us, you know, it's a chance to react in the window, chance to try and look to others to step up, and it's important for us to stay as positive, because Sunday's game, we're going to need everything we've got as a club to try and win that game.
Mouth-watering match, Mark. I'm surprised in a way that the games are not at different times. The Rangers game and Celtic game both at exact same time. Yeah.
Obviously the television. I think, you know, for Scottish football, you want the live lunchtime slot.
We got used to that and we liked it.
Yeah, and it should be. I think it's a prime slot.
What's happened to it?
On a Sunday? Well, it appears to be that Sky favour the English Women's League down there for the prime slot. You know, I think Scottish football deserves it, to be perfectly honest. However, it's a kick-off time in some respects. It goes back, Paul, to the old days when we'd be watching Barry play, and they're going nip and tuck, and they're both kicking off at the same time. So I think that adds a wee bit. Barry will be sitting at Ibrox. He will have one ear and what's going on at Tynecastle, and likewise at Tynecastle, what's going on at Ibrox. That's the stage we're at now. That's why it's so good for Scottish football. Take
the transistor radio, in those days, take it with you, and you'll be listening to both. Martin O'Neill then, he spoke also about Derek McInnes. You heard Derek speaking there about Martin. Here is the opposition manager.
Oh, it's terrific. It's really been brilliant. So it's a really great season for them. I was nearly going to say they've taken advantages of Celtic and Rangers slip-ups, but that's not the case. They've driven on themselves. They've done it, and it's genuinely great credit to them.
And it's a long time since the Hearts have won at both grounds, isn't it? Same season, home and away.
They've played Celtic and Rangers twice each, 4 games, and they've won the 4, haven't they? Yeah. 12 points out of 12. That's how you win titles. That's the mark of a team that could very, very easily become champions on May the 16th. They are the team to beat just now, Paul. They have set the pace, they have set the standard, and it's up to Celtic and Rangers to respond.
Can you see it happening?
Hearts winning it. Honest, I'm not just saying it. Right now, I believe they're favourites, and I honestly, I would not rule out. You can't rule out May the 16th Hearts being the champions. I think it's there for them.
Dale's on from David Lloyd in Hamilton. He's a Rangers fan. He said, I think Hearts are going to do it. Barry, what do you think? Can Hearts... Well, they could do it.
There's a high possibility because they went through their sticky patch and then people were questioning them, but they've come through that strongly. Look, they're in it, and all credit to them, and I'll go on about it. They've got a good team here. They have got real good players, but their best signing has been the manager. It'd be easy for them to go for somebody down south or somebody from a foreign country, but they went for somebody who knows the Scottish game inside out, and look how it's worked for them.
So Hearts for the title, you're saying?
No.
Barry, you're not saying Celtic for the title?
No. I think Rangers will do it.
You really do?
Do you know what?
Yeah.
I have got a feeling. Mm-hmm.
He's getting a consistency. It's not his team yet. We'll see a couple of the players on Sunday.
I think these 3 players will make a big difference, plus adding another 1 or 2 players to that. Somebody different in the middle of the pitch from what they've got. He's a real presence, and he can play various positions in the centre of the park. He can hold it, or he can go further forward. Olsen could be the big... He's the one that really excites me in terms of he can be that difference maker. Left back is, by all accounts, looking deep into him. Is a right good left back. That adds competition again with Magoma at left back. And as I said to you, who comes out stronger in the window, I believe will have the best chance of winning it.
And that's what Peter Grant said as well. And he said...
I do honestly believe that, but... Yeah. But there's still a fair bit to go.
I agree with that. The only concern, I think, would be if you're looking at Celtic, is yes, you have a strong one. We've always said that. Let's see where the 3 clubs are on February the 2nd on the Monday night when it closes. However, if Celtic lose on Sunday, it might be material what they do in the window.
That's true.
So if Celtic do lose, do they still go and sign players?
That's the thing, isn't it?
That's a really good question. Yeah, because Celtic need to get ready for the summer. So if they did lose, it's not out of the question that they could, because they're still to play Hearts twice, Rangers twice. But would they then spend? That's a great shout.
Because there's still a lot of, let's be honest, there's still a lot of football to be played.
And the team needs to be recycled. They need new players at Celtic.
Yeah, you can tell they definitely need another 4 or 5.
Can you see why Brendan Rodgers was so frustrated in the summer?
Yeah, you can see why. No doubt about it. But they've been, in terms of winning trophies over a period of time, they've been relentless. But at some stage, you do need to recycle players. You need to bring a freshness in. And that's what I think Celtic have been lacking.
Martin O'Neill spoke about his memories of Tynecastle. He's been there many times as a Celtic manager.
I think so, yeah. It has a great atmosphere. It's fiery. It's great. And I think I used to say, here outside Ibrox, it was the most intimidating place to go. And I think it'll be a wonderful atmosphere. Yeah.
Place to be, Mark. But sadly, opposition fans don't come in big numbers. They're not allowed in big numbers anymore.
Yeah, I don't know what's the allocation. It's 700, 800
Something
maybe.
like that.
I don't think it's even that.
It's 4 or
Is it less
5.
than that,
I
is it?
think.
That's
Yeah.
garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's it kind of dilutes. So obviously, home clubs now want to have as many of their home supporters in to create that atmosphere, to create that intimidation that Martin O'Neill's talking about there. However, for a spectacle, it's not ideal. But then again, Paul, as we always say with these things, the clubs vote for these decisions.
That's right.
The clubs allow rules in their constitution that allows for this kind of scenario to take place, where you're only getting 500, 600, 700, whatever it may be. It's the same with Edinburgh derbies, the Old Firm games now as well. It's obviously been reduced. So the clubs, it's in their power to do something about it.
Good point. Okay, we're going to go on the lines after this. Somebody could win £1,000. That's coming next.
Go Radio Score Predictor with Shawfield Timber. With decades of experience, they are Glasgow's specialist timber merchant.
Yep, you could be predicting. Well, John from Croffoot's on the line, a Rangers fan. Good evening, John.
Hello there.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Yourself?
Good, very well. I think Mark wants to say hello to John.
Hello, John. How you doing?
Yep.
Hello, Mark.
Still good. And here is Barry Ferguson.
How you doing, John?
All right, Barry.
I'm good, mate.
Yeah, you watch him a few times, I would imagine, over the years, John.
Yeah, I've met him a couple of times as well, gentlemen.
Right. Good.
Nice to hear.
Absolutely,
Nice to hear.
of course. I know. We'll get a chorus of "Oh Barry, 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 Barry," and then and a Martin O'Neill later. The two of them, couple of gentlemen, aren't they? But he threw ice at him. But Martin loved that story.
Why did
He came in the
I?
studio. No, he did. He loved the story.
I was
it.
back in the daft
Absolutely.
days.
But hey, you've got to have a bit of a laugh, don't you, Mark? You know, that's
Absolutely.
Not, come on.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I never meant it.
No.
It just landed, honestly, flush on his shoulder.
Thank you, Inspector, for that one. Right, listen, before we get your predictions, because with our friends at Shawfield Timber, £1,000, there's going to be an inspection tomorrow morning for Dundee United against St Mirren, 9:30 tomorrow morning. And Mark, you're telling me the same at Montrose against Peterhead, 9 o'clock tomorrow. So Dundee United, St Mirren.
Obviously the weather up in that neck of the woods. Also, both playing tonight. We'll see it on the beat, but they're talking about being -8, -9 during the night, Paul, overnight. So problems in that area. So hopefully the game will be on at Tannadice tomorrow, Dundee United St Mirren.
Let's get Sean Batty on just to check how the weather
Get a
is.
heated blanket on.
Exactly. Aye. So
I prefer a hot water bottle.
John, Scottish football, what a season, and it's going to culminate, of course, in June for the World Cup. Are you going to go over for the games?
No, I'll not be able to go over the game. I'm not that flush, I'm afraid.
All right, yeah. Also, you don't know, Trump might say, there's John from Croffoot, no chance, if you come in.
There's that as well.
I mean, we hope that doesn't happen, of course. We hope that everything is okay for this. What are you thinking? We're chatting here about, the title race. Hearts in pole position. Do you think they're going to do it?
I don't, but I think it will be close. I think over the course of the season, I think injuries are starting to take its toll already. So I think that may be a factor when it comes to Hearts. And I think it all depends on what the January signings are going to be like for all three teams. So it's anybody's at this point, I think.
Yeah.
John, you happy with the three already?
Yeah, I'm happy with Scott Wilson. I've watched Scott Wilson a few times, and we've obviously been linked with him a couple of times before as well. So I've always kept an eye on him, and he's the kind of player that will excite Rangers fans. And he's the kind of player I think it will help Chermiti or whoever's up front, Miofsky. So that's an important signing.
Is Chermiti going to come good, do you think? He obviously did at the Celtic game.
I think performance-wise, he's been really, really good recently. He just needs to add that finishing touch and score the goals, because ultimately that's what he's paid to do. But I'm hoping that it does come along, and I'm hoping with the signings of Scott Wilson and whoever else comes in will help him do that.
So, £5,000, John, was given away the other morning on The Breakfast Show. That was Thursday morning. Yeah, that was just yesterday morning. Seems ages ago. £5,000 to the young teacher, and she wanted to go to Portugal. If you get £1,000, what are you going to do with it?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I've been off work with. I'm waiting to get an operation on my knee, so money's a bit scarce recently. So it'll just go towards paying bills.
Right.
Getting an operation next month for my knee, so the joys of playing amateur football.
John, I hope that, and Barry and Mark, hope it goes well.
No, I hope he wins.
Thank you.
Exact. That's, of course. Let's
Thank
concentrate
you.
on these then, okay? We'll start
Come on,
tomorrow.
John.
Come on, John. Yeah.
Come on, John.
Right. Aberdeen against Livy. We're supposed to go John first. Can we do it this way, James? I'm going to ask the guys first, and then can I do it? Hey, I'm just doing it because I'd love if you got £1,000.
Will you get in trouble?
Yeah. Yeah. If not, we'll split it. All right. Okay, I'll pay it. Aberdeen against Livy. What do you think?
I'm going to go Aberdeen home win.
Mark, what do you reckon?
0-0 draw.
You're going for the draw, okay? John, what do you reckon?
I'm going to go for an Aberdeen home win as well.
Right.
Livingston have picked up the results recently, and Arfield's a good signing, but I think Aberdeen will just be too strong for them. I've just got a feeling it'll be too strong.
There won't be many goals in at the will there, because Livy are, big physical side. Aberdeen can hardly score. They've got a goal last weekend.
Yeah,
but,
listen, I think it'll be a close one, but I think it'll be Aberdeen will just nick it 1-0.
Dundee United.
I think Bologna, they recalled the Aberdeen striker as well, their top goal scorer this season as well. So he's away to Utrecht, so that'll be a big loss for him.
And John, you're good, but don't push it too far there.
No, he's saying by the way, spot on. I've
It's
seen that.
spot on knowledge, isn't it?
Aye,
I
good.
I want to join the panel.
It's good. Who do you play for? What's your amateur team?
Oh, it's an over 35s team.
All right.
It was. I done it last May.
Okay.
In Tally Vicks, and it's been a nightmare. And I'm a postman, so I can't
my goodness,
exactly do
yeah.
my job. So it's been a nightmare.
Look, I hope it goes well. Right, Dundee United St Mirren, if it's on, it may be postponed. It may not be. There'll be an inspection 9:30 tomorrow. Who do you fancy on this one? Who wants to go in it first? Mark, what do you reckon?
2-1 Dundee United.
2-1 Dundee United. Barry, what do you feel?
I'm going to go another home win, Dundee
Are you?
United.
Oh my goodness. And St Mirren, they'd be desperate for the points on 19 points. Dundee United go into the game on 25. What do you feel, John?
I think it's going to be a draw.
Right.
St Mirren just don't know when to be beaten. That goes the same with Dundee United. So I think it will be either 0-0 or 1 each.
Okay, you're going for the draw. Falkirk against Hibs. What do you think on this one, son?
Home win.
Are you going for the
go
Bairns?
Falkirk. Yeah.
Wow.
Bairns.
I'm going to go Falkirk to beat Hibs.
Falkirk on 30 points. They'd go on 33, just 2 behind Hibs. Mark, what do you feel?
I'm going to go for the draw. Desmond, 2-2.
Oh, a Desmond, a 2-2. What do you feel, John?
I'm actually going to go for a Hibs win, purely in the fact that Falkirk have had a couple of really tough games recently, took the extra time and stuff like that, and I think Hibs might be just too strong for the pace up front.
That's true. Aberdeen Livy, what was your score, John?
Aberdeen Livy, I had Aberdeen to win.
Aberdeen, right. Okay, I'm just getting them all here because I've got a feeling this is going to be the winning coupon. Motherwell against Kilmarnock. I'm going to throw it to you first, John.
Okay, Motherwell. I think Motherwell will win. I think they're in really good form, and the way they're playing football will be too much for Kilmarnock.
That would be their 10th win of the season. Barry, what do you feel?
Yeah.
Yeah, head and heart in a way.
I know,
not against.
no,
I know.
you're right. You've
I know.
took the words out of my mouth. It's a tough one.
Look at Neil's face. Look at Billy just looking at you, Gaffer. Come on.
Try to make me even feel worse, man. Yeah, just Motherwell at home. I'm just going to. I'm going to go Motherwell
for the well. Mark.
Yeah, it's hard to see past Motherwell. I just find it incredible. Kilmarnock only 2 wins out of 22 league games. Quite incredible.
It is.
For Kelly and Motherwell as well. For the plaudits that they've had going forward and the entertain, I get that. But they've only conceded 17 goals. A real tough side to score against as well. They're at home. There's momentum. For me, Motherwell too.
John, you happy with your prediction?
Yeah, I'm happy with that so far.
What's your score? What do you think? We don't need the score, but
I think I don't know if Kilmarnock will score. I'll go for a 2-0 victory for Motherwell.
Okay, you reckon? All right. So you're going for Aberdeen. You're going for a draw at Dundee United St Mirren. You're going Hibs to win at Falkirk and Motherwell to beat Kilmarnock. Right. What about Sunday? Top of the table clash. Hearts against obviously Celtic and Rangers tied on 44. What a game this is going to be. What do you reckon? Well, in fact, let's hear what the guys say. What do you feel? Who wants to go first? Yeah. In fact, see before it, let's hear just a little bit here. See what Martin O'Neill is saying. because you're never too far away from a clip from Martin O'Neill or Danny Rule on the programme here, because we are Glasgow's own. Glasgow's striking back after a terrible start to the season. What's he saying? In fact, okay, here is Thomas Jvanchara. What's his targets now that he's joined Celtic?
Yeah, I would just say that obviously for Celtic it's very important to win the title, and this is for me also the target, and my targets for myself, it's I mean, like, quite obvious. I'm a striker. I want to score goals. I want to be important for the team. I want to help the team, and this is what I hope we will achieve all together.
And a bit from Martin O'Neill.
We've left ourselves a lot to do. We've left ourselves a lot to do in the league, and because of previous results, we've left ourselves a lot to do in this competition. But we're fighting. And we're going right to the end. We've got a big game on Sunday now, and that'll be a major test for us, particularly since we put a big effort tonight with 10 men for what was it, for about 60 odd minutes of the game. So, but anyway, that's the sort of spirit, I think, that's imbued now within the team. And the spirit alone won't carry you through. You do need extra, of course, but that's the start.
What do you reckon for the game?
I'm going to go for the title race to be blown wide open, and for Celtic to get a 2-1 victory at Tynecastle on Sunday. 2-1 Celtic.
Wow. Barry?
Surprisingly, I'm going to go a draw.
You go for a draw?
Yeah. I think
you really think that?
Yeah, honestly, I do think that.
Who's going to go first? Have you got a feeling that?
I think it's going to be Nathan each.
Do you?
0-0.
Yeah. Wow, yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow, preordained. That's what I said, right? 0-0. No, wow. John, what do you think?
I'm the same as Barry. I think it will be a nut each draw.
You're not just saying that because it's Barry.
No. I think Celtic had a tough game last night, especially the second half with 10 men.
Yeah.
And I think with the injuries that Hearts have had, is going to curtail them a wee bit. But Hearts at home have been formidable this season, and I can see it being a boring game for some reason, cancelling each other out.
Right.
So,
nerves as well, maybe, John, might be part of it, because Hearts are now getting close. 16 games to go. Celtic in town, you could well be right. Nerves. Peter Grant said that a few times. He said, look, I think the Hearts fans will start to get nervous as well. Did you feel that before, Barry, that fans can, obviously they can affect the teams?
In terms of when,
if they feel nervous, a bit apprehensive, a bit.
Yeah, because they've not been in this position before, really. And listen to watching a few Hearts fans speak, they are getting nervous because they're getting closer. There's less games coming up, but they've got good experience, Hearts. They've got an experienced manager, which he'll calm everybody down. They've got good experience with, like, Finlay at the back, and Halkett, Craig Gordon. So they have got good experienced players in there.
Oh, what about the Craig Gordon save the other week, John? We haven't spoken to you about it. What did you make of it?
it was Alan McGregor-esque, I thought. It was some save. Yeah. The way he caught it from more or less behind his natural body position, it would reminded me of McGregor.
Yeah. It was, wasn't it? Danny Rule, what does he think about Hearts Celtic at the weekend?
I look just to ourselves. If we do our homework until the end of the season, we have a big chance. The teams around us can do what they want. If we focus on our own and we take the wins, then we can smile at the end of the season.
So he was asked about that. I'm just seeing what else we've got from him. Did we hear him earlier speaking about...
I just like that answer.
Yeah. Stay focused.
Focus on number one. Whatever happens at Tynecastle will happen. What you need to do is make sure you get 3 points at 3 o'clock on Sunday.
Mark, he's right, isn't he? Just listen, control what you can control.
Yeah, that's all you can do. And that, again, Paul stating the obvious, but that's the beauty of where we are right now with 16 games to go. Hearts, Celtic and Rangers, neither at this moment in time need any favours. It's all in their own hands, which is a great position to be in, and pretty much all you can ask for, albeit Hearts in the driving seat 6 points ahead of both of them. But yeah, Danny Rule is right. I say, from a media point of view, we'll say, well, at Tynecastle I'd like that, but he's not. He said that's his mentality, and that's what's rubbed off in the Rangers players. That focus, that doesn't matter what happens elsewhere, bottom of the league, top of the league. Just go and try and win games. Just go and score one more goal than the opposition. And that mentality, that message is working so far. Rangers start on 44 points, as we know. Dundee on 22, so half the points. Mark, you want to go first? Yeah, Ibrox. Yeah. Great Sunday afternoon, Paul. Tynecastle and Ibrox, both full houses. Both of the 3 teams at the fore going for leagues, and credit to Dundee, 3 wins out of their last 5 league games as well under Stephen Presley, so credit to them. I think Barry mentioned him was a player that he really likes, Graham, the big central defender.
Yeah, I like him.
£1 million by all accounts, club sniffing about him now, and Dundee potentially knocking back £1 million from him, so it's great that they've created that kind of asset. However, to get to the point, I think Rangers will keep going the way they've been going under Danny Rule. Rangers 1, Dundee 0.
Right. Barry, what do you feel?
Yeah, I think it'll be close. A lot of people think Rangers will run over the top of them, but I think Dundee will come very organised and try and frustrate. I'll go Rangers 2, Dundee 1.
John, what do you feel?
I'm going to go for a Rangers victory as well. I think Danny Rill's got us defensively sound recently, considering how suspect we were. And I think with the lack of goals that we conceded recently, all we need is 1 goal. So I'm going to go for a Rangers win, probably 2-0.
Okay, so going for Rangers tomorrow, Hearts Celtic to draw, Motherwell to beat Kelly, Falkirk to lose at home to Hibs, Dundee United St Mirren's a draw, and if it's postponed then we'll just count the other games, you'll be fine with that. And Aberdeen Livy, you're going for the Dons. John, we've got our fingers crossed for you because you've got the injury which hopefully will get sorted in the next couple of weeks, but you're missing your football and you're a postman.
Yeah, a wee baggy sand would be nice.
It certainly would.
Oh, you're telling me it would be more than nice.
And John, all-time favourite player, who would it be? Rangers player.
My all-time favourite player is Alan McCoy. I'm a big glory hunting striker, so I've always liked Super Ali. Plus, just the way he comes across, he just lives and breathes the club. But Barry Ferguson's up there as well. Don't worry about that.
Super Ali though. Barry and Mark, I mean, we worked with him for so long.
Yeah, John, I was playing 6-a-sides with him. We were in opposing teams. I'd done Mahami, so I was in goals for 45 minutes. And I think Coisty rattled about 4 or 5 past me. However, I'm very proud to say I saved a penalty kick from him the day at 6's. But he was in great form, still rattling them in for fun, still enjoying his football.
Now you tell me we could have opened the programme with it. Breaking news.
Have you done your hammy?
Aye.
Oh, nightmare.
There's some great breaking news for everyone else at the 7-a-sides. He's a goalkeeper. Mark was the goalkeeper, as you'll remember.
Did you do it playing or something else?
Yeah.
Not done today.
And Barry, Super Ali, an all-time Rangers great.
Listen, every time I turn the TV on and watch the football, he's all over the world.
Yeah.
I don't know how he does it.
It's amazing. See, his air miles must be phenomenal. Yeah.
I seen a picture. He was sleeping in an airport.
I saw it.
Did you see it?
I did. Just lying on a bench. Was that really? Was it?
But yeah. I mean, lounge.
He'll be up in the lounge like yourself.
I tell you what, he's well.
Concord Lounge.
He's looking well.
It's
looking great. Looking lovely.
Yep,
trim.
sure.
Really bang on it, and he's great. I love his co-coms and his punditry. Really, really good and great on Talk Sport in the morning as well.
Mark will be sending that to Talk Sport to Whitey Jim just in case there's any gigs going at Talk Sport. Get me away from these two. John, listen, it's been great to speak to you tonight, and I would love to be speaking to you on Monday with the score predictor from Shawfield Timber. Thanks, John.
Well, thanks for having us.
Good luck, John.
Cheers, guys.
Aye, all the best, mate. Cheers.
Thank you. We're back after this.
The Go Radio Football Show with Burger King.
Sure is. Mark Guidi, Barry Ferguson, Paul Cooney. There's no other way you'd like to start the weekend, is there?
See, just what you're saying about Gayfield.
Yes, yeah.
Have you've obviously been up?
I have.
You've been up, man.
Yeah.
Aye, it's
Wild.
It
It's
is
the
wild.
last stop, isn't it, before the North Sea there? It's, yep.
Been up in the worst conditions where the goalkeeper went to take a goal kick and it basically come back into the 18-yard box. That's how bad the wind was.
Yeah.
But nice people. See, when you go in,
great
they look
people,
they look after you.
Yeah. They're bro smokies as well, Mark. I know you love.
Beautiful,
you love your food.
I think just talk about that.
Listen,
More than a smoky.
No, yeah.
Andy McLaren tells a story. I think he's put there for Dundee United. He goes to take a corner at Gayfield and he get hit with a wave.
Seriously? Yeah.
A wave came
Oh,
up
wow.
over. A wave
Yeah.
came up over and get scalped with a wave.
Fantastic. They're going to get scalped tonight, or Morton. So, of course, Billy Davis has left the club, Barry. Billy Davis is gone.
Yeah, I was a surprise, not with Doug Emery leaving, and I think Doug Emery brought Billy Davis back in. Listen, brilliant knowledge of the game. Billy's managed at the highest level, isn't he? So, I wasn't too surprised because obviously Doug Emery left to go to Wraith Rovers.
Who do you think's going to win that one tonight? The Red.
I'm going to go
Lackeys or the
Arbroath.
Town? You go for Arbroath, yeah.
Well, last week Morton got scalped with Stenhousemuir. Ian Murray, ex-teammate of myself, who done a good job at Airdrie and Wraith Rovers. He finds himself back in the game, which is good to see. But yeah, it's always tough going up there. And what a season they're having.
Sure are.
Arbroath.
It's
Part-time
yeah.
in a full-time league.
Amazing. Third
Brilliant.
top of the table. Only 4 points
Brilliant.
behind the Jags and 9 points behind St Johnstone. Mark, what do you reckon tonight's game?
Yeah, I agree with Barry. I really fancy Arbroath. You know, if it's dodgy conditions, Paul, they know how to adapt. They know what's coming their way, and Morton clearly just finding their feet under Ian Murray. So Arbroath victory for me.
What about Partick Thistle then, up against Ayr United, a West of Scotland derby? Jamie Murphy was sat in your seat the other day, Barry. He's got an injury. I don't know whether or not he's going to play tonight. Huge game for both teams, especially you'd say. Well, it is for both of them, isn't it? But the Jags, second top of the table, they don't want to go any further behind St Johnstone.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm going to go a Partick Thistle home win.
Right. Mark, what do you reckon?
Yeah, Mark Wilson, Alec Ray against Scott Brown and Stephen Whittaker. A real cracking game, as you said, Paul. I think it'll be a massive crowd at Firhill tomorrow. I'm going to go a Desmond there, 2-2.
Okay, that's the kind of game you sometimes pick up, isn't it? Sometimes I have popped
I won't
up
be
a couple
tomorrow,
of times.
but yeah, I like going to those kind of games. Yeah.
What about St Johnstone against Dunfermline? So Neil Lennon, who was on the telly last night from about 5 till about midnight, seemed like at the European, doing the Celtic game, then the Rangers game. What a win for them though, Barry, in the cup last weekend.
Yeah, brilliant one against Hibs, Neil Lennon's old club.
What do you feel?
I think this will be a tough one for St Johnstone. I reckon St Johnstone. I'm going to go a draw in this one.
Is it a score draw?
Yes.
You think so?
One each.
Mark, what do you feel?
I agree with Barry. Only difference, I'll go 0-0.
You're going 0-0, 0-0. Wraith Rovers against Queen's Park. Mark, what do you reckon?
Yeah, Queen's Park. I think Queen's Park will get back in the Scottish Cup, by the way, Paul.
yeah.
I remember Queen's Park were done with something very similar
They
a couple
were,
of seasons
that's
ago.
right.
So
See,
the precedent's there.
Yeah.
The rules are there. I think Queen's Park will play Rangers. Yeah.
Because the game was postponed, they then signed the goalkeeper, Stranraer.
Yep.
Does it go on the squads that were registered for the original game?
Yes.
Yeah, but I think the way that Stranraer have messed up would be the wording of the loan. Had they put in an emergency loan,
Right,
it would have worked okay. But the fact they've not registered it as an emergency loan, they've just put in a loan. It's the wording that I think you can't. It's a shame for Stranraer.
That's
you feel
tough,
for
isn't
them.
it?
I mean, that's...
But the rules are there, Paul, and a precedent's been set in the past. As I say, Queen's Park suffer from it. So, but anyway, I think Wraith Rovers will beat Queen's Park tomorrow.
That's worth about 150, 200 grand.
Yeah.
That game.
Because there'll be a good crowd, Barry, because nobody's going to take in for
I
granted.
think they'll be close on a full house.
Yeah. Wow.
Because it's an opportunity to get into the quarters.
Of course, absolutely. So that is tough. So you
And I'll
reckon
go
that's
Wraith
next
Rovers.
Wednesday, isn't it? You're going for the Rovers?
Yes.
Okay. Mark, who are you going for?
Wraith Rovers to
Going
win.
for the Rovers, so that's the championship. Enjoy the games. And obviously here on the Go Radio, well, in the shows tomorrow morning, we'll keep you up to date with any games. Hopefully Dundee United against St Mirren is on, because Gary is on, a St Mirren fan. He's been on 08, 08, 17, 17, 700, saying, Mark, they really need to start picking up points. He's beginning to get worried about something has changed at St Mirren since it's not because of the cup win, but you do begin to worry.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Kilmarnock and Livingston. It generally looks as though they'll battle it out for the bottom two, but St Mirren could very easily get dragged into it. Paul, there's no doubt about that. They just can't win a game. And John, who was going through predictions, made the point that St Mirren just don't know how to lose. Well, that's evidence of a while ago, not recently. They're in a habit. Really,
I think
of
maybe he's talking
games.
about the game midweek against Livingston.
Oh, right, but they've got
When
the
they
point.
scored the last-
They've got the. But I think that St Mirren could get dragged in to it, but then you're looking at Kilmarnock trying to win games and Livingston to go and win games. So at the moment, I think St Mirren, I can understand his concerns.
And John McGinley's name came up John McGlynn's name came up for the Aberdeen job. I don't see John
McGinley.
I don't see John Bolton. It was, wasn't it? Yeah. But John McGlynn, I don't know. Somehow I don't see him going up to Aberdeen. Aberdeen, massive club.
Look, if you look at it, he would obviously treble his salary. He'd have a bigger budget. But I just think John McGlynn and Falkirk just are a great mix. They just work well. And what he's done over the last few years has been incredible.
Mark?
I don't think, nothing against John McGlynn, but I don't think he will be the next Aberdeen manager. Does he have the ability to do it in the CV? Yeah. But by all accounts, Aberdeen are going to take their time, Paul.
Are they?
They've started the process, but they're in no rush to appoint a permanent manager.
What about the news today down south that Andy Robertson, Scotland captain, so important to us, Liverpool legend, but Spurs reportedly looking to make a shock move, maybe in the window just now, or because he's out of contract, isn't he?
He's out of contract. I'm not surprised by that one because he's not playing. He's hardly played this season.
And Kirkes hasn't been amazing, has he?
No, and they spent, what was it, 60, 70 million in Kirkes. Look, he's a good player. Do I think he's better than Andy Robertson? No, I don't. So I think Andy Robertson might look and think, do you know what, this might suit me for the next 4 months. What a place to play. What a stadium. I know they're going through a tough time at this moment in time, but I could see that happening.
Come good again. What do you feel? Andy Robertson?
I think he needs to go, and I think he wants to go. Maybe different if Liverpool were going to win a title again, but I just think if the time's right, go there and loan, and then look at your options. He'll have options from abroad as well, Paul. There's certainly interest from the big leagues, and from a Scotland point of view, you want to see him in the rhythm. You want to see him going getting games under his belt, and that'll be part of his concern and his frustration. So yes, I would expect Andy Robertson to move on from Liverpool in the next 9-10 days.
I think that Liverpool want to be really fair with him and good with him because they love Andy Robertson. He's had such success, but they can't let him go unless they get somebody in that could cover, because he's great. He's more than cover for Kirkes, but he's still got a lot of football.
What do you call him? Is it at Roma? There was talk about recalling him back from Roma. But he's been a brilliant servant. What a signing. I mean, how much was it? £8 million or something?
From Hull City.
I mean, if you look at what you have to pay now for a left back, it's a brilliant signing at that price. But I agree with Mark. I think he has to go and play and get into a good rhythm before we know what's coming up in the summer.
Barry, last 2 minutes, can you believe it? What a week it's been. Billy was on asking earlier on when we spoke about the coefficients and all the rest. What's the latest then? So, if you think Rangers are going to win the league, and they may well do it, 16 games to go, what's the position with qualification automatically?
Well, I think it comes down, I mean, I was looking into it, and it's there can be a few scenarios, but I think it's down to Olympiacos. If they win, they have to win their game. That's correct me saying that? If they win the game, then that looks if Rangers can, if they are champions, will go straight into the Champions League.
Mark, that would be...
Which, as we all know, how much money.
Million.
Yeah. And then the rest, where you come,
of course,
gate money, etc., etc. So, listen, there's a few scenarios it can happen. We just need to wait and see how it plays out.
And Mark, you said I'll wait till the end of the window or whatever to give a prediction. Barry thinks Rangers are going to win the league. You threw in a wee bomb 20 minutes ago saying you think Celtic are going to go and win at Tynecastle on Sunday.
I do. I think that Sarah Martin O'Neill's got something going with them. I think they'll really be in the front foot on Sunday. I'm not saying Hearts will give them with anything to fear. They won't. But there's no doubt that the loss of Devlin and Shankland weakens them. I'll be interested to see what Derek does as well with the goalkeeping position, if he goes with Craig
What
Gordon
do you think?
or not. I think he might go back to the German guy.
Do you know what I was thinking?
That's the option. Sorry, I think he might go back. But anyway, either way, but the Hearts fans will be right up to it. They will create a special atmosphere on Sunday afternoon to go and drive their team on. But as well as Derek has had to warn the Hearts supporters a couple of times, or just remind them, we need your support. You need to stay on side even if things aren't going well. Guys, thank you so much. Thanks to Gary, thanks to James, executive producer, Taylor, Lauren, Olivia, and everyone who worked on the show today, and especially for you for contributing throughout the week. We're back on Monday. John, we're rooting for you. We'll be back on Monday at 5.